The ideas for the kinds of designs done by education design architects actually originated in the United States, but they are very applicable to the Indian context because India has a vast population and we want to try to change the education system so that students can be more creative. Instead of being a back office for companies in the US, India can become the forefront of creativity, and our students can be educated to be creative citizens. Yeah, well, one of the things we talk about is from the perspective of, say, pollution of electronic pollution, for example, with unfortunately many kids are being subjected to. We talk about schools being much more connected to nature, having more daylight, also having more fresh air, kids having connection to outdoor learning opportunities, and these kinds of things actually make the building less expensive to build. One of the ways we do it, we want to make sure that schools are treated with the same level of attention that you give to, say, an office building, where the materials that you apply, whether they are sound absorbing materials for acoustics or sound reflecting materials in say music suites, or lighting that is appropriate for the kind of task that has to be had. The selection of materials and furnishings are really important to do the right kind of school. The processes that we're talking about to create a more student-centered school where students are more in charge of their own learning as opposed to depending 100% on a teacher have been tried successfully in many different parts of the world. Our firm, which we are the parent for Education Design Architects, we have actually worked in 45 countries all around the world, in 6 continents, and we have worked with some of the most successful schools all over the world. The architectural design is a very important part of the success of these schools because architecture represents the hardware and education represents the software. To run the 21st century software, you need 21st century hardware. So our schools are custom designed to run the kind of education systems that work for 21st century teaching and learning. In Telangana, we are hoping that that the government will pay attention to these ideas, and that we can incorporate these kinds of thinking into government schools. Maybe we can start small with a few pilot projects and then expand across the whole state. No, we have not yet worked with the government of Telangana, but we would very much like to, and we'd like to see if these ideas can be propagated throughout the state so all the children in the state can benefit.